Hello coders, Synthetic Programming here with a brand new video for you guys today, and today we are going to learn how to graph and visualize data in Python using a library called Matplotlib. This is going to be a really simple and easy tutorial. Visualizing data is a super important skill in programming, so I'm excited to show you guys how to do that today. And yeah, definitely rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you like programming and science videos, because I got a lot of stuff coming down the line, and I hope you guys will be around to see it. We just hit 7,120 subscribers, so that's 120 up from a couple weeks ago when we hit 7,000. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I hope you guys like what you're seeing. If you have any ideas for videos or tutorials you want to see, leave them down below, and I'll see if I can get to them soon. Without further ado, let's get to the tutorial so I can show you guys how to graph and visualize data using Matplotlib in Python. Okay, so from Matplotlib, the library we're using, we're going to import pyplot as PLT. Okay, now we can just import it as pyplot, but I'm going to say as PLT, so I only have to write PLT from now on and not pyplot. It seems kind of silly. It's not that big of a difference, but this is sort of the convention. This is what people do, so this is how we're going to do it. So when you graph two-dimensional data on a grid, you have points that are like 0, 5, where x equals 0 and y equals 5. And you'll see that when we actually start using the graphs, but the important thing to know is we need a list of x's and a list of y's to plot, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to make our list of x's. So our x's is going to be a list, and we're going to say I times 0.01 for I in range negative 500 to 500. Now the reason that we multiply I by 0.01 is because if we just leave it like this, then it's going to give us every number, 500, 499, negative 500, negative 499, negative 498, all the way up to 499 or 500, right? So we don't want that, because if it changes by 1 every time, we might lose the corners of curves. So we want to make the number that we step by a little smaller. So we don't want to step by 1 each time. We want to step by 0.01. So that's why we multiply by 0.01. Okay, so in this case, we're not actually going between negative 500 and 500. We're going between negative 5 and 5. Okay, so now we want to make our y list. So our y's is going to be equal to x for x in x's. Okay, so right now, y's and x's, these two lists, are actually the same because we're just making this list by taking everything in x's and adding it to y's. However, we can change this really easily, where if we do something like x times 2, now it's going to be just like x's, except everything is going to be multiplied by 2. Okay, and this is going to be important for showing functions a little bit later. So now let's get to the actual graphing logic. So we're just going to say plt.plot. That's as simple as it is, x's and y's, just like that, and then plt.show. And that's really all there is to it, guys. Once I hit go on this, you're going to see the graph. You see it goes from negative 5 to 5, and this is the function x equals y, because we didn't really change anything about this here, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to change this function up. So now we're going to do, x times 3, let's say. So now we see that the graph is a little more steep. So now it still goes from negative 5 to 5 on the x-axis, but it goes from negative 15 to 15 on the y-axis, because we're multiplying everything by 3, okay? We're multiplying every x by 3. So now let's put in some more interesting functions. We can do x squared, and we can see that x squared gives us that parabola that we've seen in math class if you've done these sort of graphs before. You can also do x cubed. So x cubed looks like this. So this is us graphing that data in Python. So what we can do now as well is from math import sine and cosine, just so I can show you guys some trig functions, how they look like. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to say sine of x, just like that. And if we run that, we can see this is the graph of sine x from negative 5 to 5. Now we can do cosine x, just like that. and that'll show us the graph of cosine x from -5 to 5. And now let's say that we want to do some very slight editing. We want to like change the colors, right? So if we want to change the colors, we can just add another parameter here where we say, you know, make it a line, but make it a red line instead of a blue line. By just doing -r, now we can see that the line is red. We can do the same thing with green. I believe yellow also works. Let's try that. There's a few other colors that I'm probably forgetting. I know that black is interesting because black is K, B is just blue, so they needed black to be something else, so they made it K. So here we can see it in black. Okay, so this is a really simple way that you guys can graph some data in Python. Maybe in another tutorial I'll show you guys how to graph some real world data, you know, some data from, you know, some database online of some measured statistic, and we can do some videos on that. But for now, I just wanted to give you guys a really simple tutorial on how to graph data in Python so you can visualize it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said before, please hit that subscribe button, rate and comment. You know, the channel's starting to grow, and I hope it continues to. I hope you guys will come along for the ride. I'm Ethan with Synthetic Programming, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.